Hello everybody and welcome back to A Royal Reader. My name is Cece and today I'm going to be talking about the books that I have on my 2021 TBR. So there's quite a few and they're quite chunky. But nonetheless, I am excited to eventually read them at some point in 2021. I don't have a specific time that I want to read them. I'm just hoping that I can actually read them for 2021. And yeah, so the first book that I want to mention is actually one that I currently don't have, but the moment I heard about it, I just really wanted to read it. And that is going to be Master of One by Jada Jones and Danny Bennett, I think is how you pronounce their names. This is a YA, I believe. Yeah, so it's a YA fantasy that is basically like Six of Crows in a way. So our main character Rags is an exceptional thief. So he gets caught by two Queen's guards and is forced to find an ancient Fae relic for a sadistic royal sorcerer. But Rags could never have guessed that this relic would actually be a Fae himself, a distractingly handsome, annoyingly perfect ancient Fae prince called Shining Talon. So this obviously is queer, which makes me super excited. Good thing Rags can think on his toes because things just get stranger from there. So we have a plot of trying to find a group, trying to find a bunch of Fae relics, which actually turn out to be people, I think. I'm not entirely too sure. I just cannot wait. It says that it's for fans of Six of Crows and The Cruel Prince, and it's also a debut, sorry. So I am super excited to read this. It says a pair of reluctant heroes as they take on a world-ending Fae prophecy, a malicious royal plot, and most dangerously of all, their feelings for each other. I'm so excited, I cannot wait. So next on my list is one that I have a whole stack of books here that I actually do already own. I am trying to read through my current own TBR, so you'll be seeing a lot of these most likely throughout all of my reading vlogs that I will eventually start doing, I do promise. So the first book that I would like to read is this massive chunky boy right here. So this is George R.R. Martin's Fire and Blood. It is a sort of prequel to the world of Game of Thrones. So it's set 300 years before the events of Game of Thrones. We have dragons. It follows all of the Targaryen kings from Aegon the Conqueror to Aegon the Third. So obviously one of those, I don't know which one it is, but one of those is going to obviously Daenerys' father, and we get to see, I'm going to guess, his downfall and the way he became the crazy murderous king. And yeah, it's got dragons. Khaleesi, or Dany, is literally my favorite character of Game of Thrones. I absolutely loved her. We do not talk about her in the final season of Game of Thrones because that does not exist. And I am just super excited to see what this book has in store. And yeah, next we have I believe this is a YA, I could possibly be wrong, but it is a fantasy, and that's going to be Kingdom of Souls by Raina Barron. This is a fantasy and I think it has African elements to it. I'm not entirely too sure, but we have a family of witch doctors and our main character, Ara, I think is her name. She for some reason has not developed powers of her own, and she starts to get a little bit desperate. So she decides that she's going to sell years of her life in order to gain these magical powers, and in doing so she ends up getting caught in this really weird plot where there is actually a sleeping demon king who is awakening, and I believe he wants to steal children or something. So that sounds incredible. I know that this is actually from a Frolic Through Fiction's favorite book, well, one of her favorite books, and I am super excited to read it. I think that the both of us have quite similar tastes, so I'm excited to pick this up at some point. Plus this cover is just incredible. and I love a good hardback. Next, we have a thriller that I am excited to pick up, and that is going to be Catherine House by Elizabeth Thomas. This is a thriller that is also a dark academia in a way, because Catherine House is actually like a boarding school slash university, I think, that is very prestigious. And well, it says right here on the back, you do not have contact with the outside world for the 3 years that you stay at Catherine House. You do not leave the grounds during your time at the college. No music or books permitted. And if you are seen to be wandering from the path of learning, you may be sent to the tower. Each of their students has been selected as somebody who belongs there at Catherine, and you will give to Catherine, Catherine will give to you. You will not let each other down. That is very weird. So there is some sort of magnetic power that our main character Inez gets drawn to, and she begins to realize the question isn't why she chose to come to Catherine House, but why Catherine House chose her. So I have heard nothing but really good things about this book, and I cannot wait to read it at some point during this year. I really want to delve into more thrillers, so I'm hoping that this will be my little dip into it. So the next two on this list are both adult fantasies slash sci-fi. The first one that I have here is Brandon Sanderson's Wallbreaker. I have heard that this is a really good place to start with Brandon Sanderson, as it is, I think, from this point in time, a standalone. I could possibly be wrong, but I don't know if this is a sci-fi or a fantasy. I'm not entirely too sure, but can we just say that this cover is incredible. I really love all of Brandon Sanderson's UK slash Australian book covers. I really love the white minimalistic look. Anyway, so this follows two sisters who happen to be the princesses, and the god king is going to marry one of them. A world transformed by biochromatic magic, a power based on an essence known as breath, which can only be collected 1 unit at a time from individual people. But it's worth it. By using breath and drawing upon the colors in everyday objects, all manner of miracles and mischiefs can be performed. So this is interesting. So there, it says here that theirs is a world in which those who die in glory return as gods. This makes me excited. I cannot wait to read it. Wow, that is some thick ass text. Anyway, I'm excited to read this. 2021 is definitely going to be the year that I delve into more of Brandon Sanderson work, and I am very excited about it. And then lastly on this short list, I have The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. This is a adult high fantasy that follows our main character Nari. Yeah, so it follows our main character Nari, and she is a bit of a con woman. She works with a friend of hers who owns like an apothecary store, and she has these sort of powers that can sort of like, well, maybe she doesn't have powers, I'm not too sure. Anyway, she tricks people into thinking that they have these really horrible illnesses, and she sends them to her friend, who makes them buy really expensive herbs and stuff, and Nari gets a cut of the proceedings, obviously. And one day, somehow in the middle of her con, she summons a Jinn warrior. I don't know how it happens. I'm intrigued to find out why and how. And then that Jinn warrior ends up taking her to the City of Brass, where there is a whole bunch of political mess happening, and I also believe she finds out that she is more connected to it than she thought. I'm not entirely too sure, but I have not seen anybody hate this book or hate this series. Everyone seems to love it, and I cannot wait to pick this up. It's also written by an author of color, so that makes me super excited to read from. And yeah, so far those are mainly the ones on my current bookshelf that I am really interested in reading. Obviously throughout the year there is going to be more that prop up on this list, but so far these are the ones that I am most interested in. Let me know if you guys have read any of these and if you think that they are good and if you think I will like them. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you enjoyed seeing me, then please be sure to hit that subscribe button just down below. And if you'd like to see more of me in the future, then do be sure to check out my Instagram, Twitter and Goodreads mermaids links, they are always down in the description box for you to check out, so do go ahead and do so, and I will see you guys in another video later on.